Still working. All right, two for Tuesday. Scott Wilson with Dumbass Contractors checking in. You know the drill. Like, subscribe, write comments, stay focused, write comments, stay active, stay involved. All right, insulation. My entire career has been built around learning how to properly insulate and make a house weather tight. When I graduated high school in 1977, I had already lived through the Arab oil embargo. We were burning a lot of oil in houses that weren't insulated properly. Oil was cheap, insulation was expensive, and we didn't really know. We didn't really know how to do it. We still don't know how to do it. We're not training our workmen properly in, first off, installing insulation correctly, and when people, after the insulation is installed and workmen come in, they destroy the insulation. And usually when I go in to renovate a house, I need to put in 20 bags of insulation just in the ceiling alone. The cheapest barrel of oil is the one you don't burn. 80% of your heat goes out through the roof of your house. So I spend 80% of my efforts making the roof breathe properly, be insulated properly, shed snow properly, and hold the heat in. The next biggest piece of the puzzle is draft, closing in drafts. Just a slight breeze moving over your body, moving over your body, will cool you off and make it uncomfortable to sit in a room. I'm 62. I've lived in a rural area with a lot of older homes. I've lived in a suburban area where the vast majority of homes are platform framing. I own a house that was built in 1984, and I own a house that was built in 1861. One of them is brick. One of them is platform framed. The older house is brick. When we bought the house in New Hampshire, the 1861 house, it was burning about 1,500 gallons of oil a year. A lot of that was for hot water during the summer. We had to keep the boiler at temperature all summer long so that we had hot water. And there was no insulation in the cap of the house. There was some, but it wasn't done correctly. They had over-insulated the ceiling in the basement or the first floor, below the first floor in the joist. They insulated that to about R40 or R50. And then half the house had no insulation in it whatsoever in the ceiling. First thing I did when we bought the house was go through and blow in some cellulose. The first thing we did was put in proper vent so that the roof could breathe and vent and not freeze up with ice dams in the wintertime. Then we blew in, I don't know how many bales of cellulose into the attic. Did some foam work, sealing up some spots that were a little drafty. And we were able to drop I put a new boiler in so that we had a coal-fired boiler that didn't have to stay at temperature all summer long. It only runs twice a day during the summer. Heats up a tank of hot water and then turns itself off. We dropped the usage from 300 gallons of oil during the summer for hot water down to 150 gallons of oil for hot water in the summer. And then we dropped the oil usage down to about 700 gallons in the wintertime, down from 1,200 gallons. Now, when oil is $1.98 a gallon, it's an okay savings. But if you're talking about saving 500 gallons of oil at $5 a gallon, that's $2,500 a year. And if you don't have to pay for those those therms, those barrels of oil that you're putting through your furnace, that's money in your pocket. It's money you don't have to earn. It's money that you can spend on a vacation. Putting insulation in the wrong place is expensive. The insulation is expensive. The labor is expensive. Taking it out when it's got to come out is expensive. Knowing where to put it is important. Knowing how to do it is a highly skilled trade. I mean, I don't know. We let some of the dumbest people in construction put in the insulation, which is, it's like an annuity. If you do your insulation right, it pays you back year after year. Think about this: if you're saving 500 gallons of oil a year over 10 years, that's 5,000 gallons. At $5 a gallon, you're looking at $25,000 in your pocket. It adds up fast. It's money in your pocket. I tell my clients, they're like $2,500 for insulation and weather sealing. That's outrageous. I say, that's not cost. That pays. That'll pay you back in 3 years, and then it'll start putting money in your pocket, and your house will be more comfortable. Once I had my house in Centerport insulated properly, I could set my thermostat at 65 and be warmer than when we set it at 72, because we got rid of the drafts. There was no insulation in the corners. There was only maybe at best 50 or 60% of the insulation in the cap. Electricians, plumbers, AC guys come through and just pull it out and leave it, or they put it in a bag and throw it out. Or people will let their cats in the attic and the cats will nest in it. Or you'll get a nest of squirrels or mice and they eat it away. You have to maintain that insulation. But my house in New Hampshire has no wall cavity. There is literally no insulation in the walls. None. There's no space for it. It's a brick house with plaster attached to the brick on the inside. And I'm burning 950 gallons a year, and that includes hot water. So if I need 300 gallons for hot water all year round, I'm burning 650 gallons to heat a 2,200 square foot house for the year. I don't care what the price of a barrel of oil is. It doesn't matter. It's inconsequential. I'm not burning it. I'm only burning what I need to burn to keep my house warm enough to survive. And I'm comfortable. It's a nice toasty house. It's one of the warmest houses I've ever lived in. And there's no insulation in the walls, but because I focused 80% of my effort on the cap, it's energy efficient and it's comfortable to live in. All right. Cheapest barrel of oil is the one you don't burn. Focus on that. Focus on burning less oil. Putting more money in your pocket. I'd rather have the money in my pocket than the heat going out my roof. All right, we're burning daylight. Stay loose, stay relaxed. Wilson out.